Yeah, let's just get stuck in. Let's get stuck in here, eh? It's fun to say. You don't say that already. You should. Getting stuck in. It's a good thing, I guess. I have going. I don't remember. I think all my filters are turned on. You know what? Let's just depatch and not even think about it or worry about it or wonder. Okay. Zeroing mixer. Mixer zeroed. Okay. And now the semi-laborious process of depatching. It's only laborious if you're anal like me and you want to keep all of your colors together. Which is, to be honest, probably most people. Undermine, what's going on? What's happening? It's hot. I was out most of the weekend and then I didn't have my AC on, and so my house is... It's very warm. It's very unappealing. It's unappetizing. So, I have fled to my studio whilst it cools down. Which is a good option to have. Blues. All the blues. Bonk. Well, I took the plunge, and I ordered myself a Shackmat Bard Quartet quad quantizer module. So, I was going to get the ADAC intuitive quantizer, but to be completely honest, there were enough reports. I'm outside Chicago, so yeah, we're not as warm as that. That's for sure. It's actually not horrible here, but it's just in the 80s, and it's one of those like, oh, your house was closed up all day, and it's 85 out. So now it's 90 inside and disgustingly humid. So, the best thing to do is to flee the premises. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I got that module from a store in Vancouver, and I don't know what that actually means. I've bought things from overseas before, and they were always like, "You may owe import duties and stuff," and nothing ever comes of that. It's like, how does that even work? Like, do you send me a bill? Like, what? And it's just never happened. So, I'm just curious. I'm curious too how long it's going to take, because I mean, geez, man, Vancouver is like almost it's almost Seattle, right? It's super duper close, and they, you know. But then I grew up in the era where you didn't even need a passport to go to Canada. You just went. Uh, Nowadays, everyone's a terrorist. Global terror. A war on terror. Which is a hilarious concept. Just thinking about that phrase. We're going to battle terror. How you do that? I know one way. Make everybody pissed off at everybody else. That'll do. Wait, no, just kidding. Don't do that. Too late. Anyways, hey, here we are. Let's see. I know I have the first two buffers filled here, right? Yeah. Yeah, possibly. Is this filled? No. Yes? No. Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay. What to do? First of all, Let us slow down the clock and think, let's see here if things are actually synchronized or not. And they are not. Okay. And by synchronized, I mean lined up with the melodizer. Nope, still not there. Oh, the pus bucket. Nope, still not there. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, that we definitely old. That is true. Okay. I've had a busy weekend. And I'm about to just get some creativity vapors going and try to put everything behind me. Like 2 weeks before school starts. So I need to take advantage. Yeah, right when you get a melodizer is when they'll come out with the double melodizer. And then we will both be kicking ourselves. Yes, I am. I am a middle school music teacher. So, part, fuck my life, part cool, because it does have its advantages. And I don't have to, well, that's not true. I was about to say I don't have to work for a boss, but that's totally not true. In fact, I have to work for a lot of bosses who are parents and who know more than anyone else in the universe about everything. And all of their kids are perfect. All of them. The horror stories are real, but not as common probably for me. The music teacher, you kind of slide under the radar. So that's kind of cool. Okay, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna use a lot of probability, number one. We're gonna use a lot of polymetric sequences, number two. That's kind of my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, hey, I try my best. I really do, and that's the big key. It's like, how do you influence your people? Dorian. See, this doesn't make any friggin' sense here. If I put this on Dorian and then I go to the active notes, that is complete weirdness. It's just got this like I don't know what that even is. Maybe it's just that those notes are taken out on that particular scale? But I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. What surprises me is the lack of, like, the different minors. Like, maybe I just didn't look long enough. But I don't think it's there since here I am already in Hira Joshi scale. Like, how come there's no, melodic minor? Melodic minor is like a really cool mode when you go like the fifth mode of harmonic minor, which is the same as whatchamajigger. My favorite scale, which is the Phrygian dominant scale. Which is like C, C sharp, E, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, which is a really, really great one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Hirajoshi is. I need like a chart of all of the scales in there. I wonder if such a thing even exists on the interweb. Ornament and crime scales. What kind of scales you got? Hey, look, there it is. Predefined scales. Ionian. Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, it's all given in, like, notes in cents and DAC value. Oh, Christ. God damn it. Oh, okay, I know what this is. This is, so it's like 0, 100, 300, 400, 500. So 100 is a semitone. So if it's 0, 100, 300, that should be like C, C sharp, D sharp, and then 400 E, 500 F, 700 is G, 800 is A flat, and then B flat is 1,000. So 1,200 would be an octave because, well, that's 12 notes. 12 notes away at least. So game gypsy. What is Hirajoshi? Give me Hirajoshi. Where you at? Where you at, yo? Oh, there's some funky ones in here. 89.8, 385.9, 497.7. Okay, yeah. Because when you get into scales from other parts of the world, they're like, oh, 12-tone system? Pfft, bye. Hirajoshi is 185.2. So that would be like a flat D. And then 336.7. So it's like a sharp E flat. 682.8. Which is like a flat G. And then 789.8, which is almost an A. That's weird. Okay. Interesting, though. I'm going to have to bookmark this. Because, well, it's tough. It's tough to think about atonal, right? Atonal means like we don't think it lines up. It's totally a cultural construct, right? So if you like grew up in Indonesia where your scales have like 13 or 19 tones or 23 tones or something like that in an octave, then that's normal. That's normal for you, right? Theoretically. Okay, so let's start setting up some voices here, maybe, huh? I'm thinking fire up the Turing machine maybe first, because it's just so easy. It's just all right there. It's just you just connect the cables and then you just do it. Just do it. Okay, so output goes into the CV in. There's that guy. And then, like, maybe let's use something like the volts expander on, like, number 2. And then we can do some interesting stuff because those are both going to be based on the same voltage, but one of them we can trigger, like, later or more rarely, which would be kind of entertaining. Right, so if I just did, like, a little thing and everything else down, it should be the same sequence, just, like, shifted up a little bit. In theory, communism works. In theory. Okay, and then what we gonna do with the envelopes? How are we gonna take the envelopes from there? We need our triggers. So unfortunately, yeah, we have to do a stupid stackable trigger doowacky thing, which is irritating. Shack mat does not do that. That makes me happy. Also, it has a built-in arpeggiator. Also, it's just, it looks like it's a badass piece of machinery. So, um, again, that's the Bard Quartet. And who knows how long it's going to be till I get it. Thankfully, the Canadian dollar exchange rate is not bad. So, you know, I bought it from Vancouver and I probably paid. I was thinking of getting it from Thomann in London. Like, there's only a few stores around the world that even have these things right now. And there was like $488 and $30 shipping or something like that. And I think Vancouver, I got it for like $460 shipped. And probably because of the Canadian dollar exchange rate, it was quite a bit nicer. So I don't know. I'll be very curious. But overfolder is going out. Everything else can be moved over. We've got a little slot here, so I think I'm going to leave the ornament in crime, and we'll throw the Bard Quartet right here. And if I don't have room, I can easily take like my fader and move it up a row. Or there's a couple other things I can do. I can always ditch the volts module too because I like never use it. So, you know, many options. Oh, the Melodicer has, well, first of all, the Melodicer is, no, they're really different. Mux Slicer is much more like an old school sequencer. You know, here's your 8 steps. I'm going to go forward. Okay. And so it's just popping forward depending on your clock rate, right? Well, also though, this thing has a clock multiplier or divider internally, so it can spit out a clock signal to something else that's like completely different, which is super cool. Also, you've got variable gates, so I can have, you know, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 8 gates on each step. Also, it has individual gate outputs, all right? But it's also a muxer, which means it's a sequential switch. Okay, so I could put like 8 different oscillators into these inputs, and then these become levels. So then it's scanning through your inputs. But it doesn't even have to be an oscillator. It could be a modulation source. It could be all kinds of stuff. Like you could have 8 different LFOs. You know, I could take all of the outputs from the sloths and throw it in there and make some bizarre dancing voltage source that, God, I kind of want to try that now, come to think of it. Sometime. Maybe not today. The problem, of course, with that is, well, now you're all out of sloths. So, yeah, there's that. But it'll be interesting because the quantizer will free up my ornament and crime to do other stuff. And I found another sloths type modulation source in the ornament and crime. And I definitely plan on using it, you know, because I love it. And I want to get 2 triple sloths in here, and I don't have room. Actually, I do. I would ditch one of these oscillators and then just throw another triple sloths up there. Then I would probably need an attenuator, which I already got a triple attenuator. I need another one, and I'm like, shit. Everything leads into other stuff. I could save room in a few places. I could switch this marbles with my small one at home, which is half the size. After later audio Kara. That would be a quick fix. I can get rid of the filter right here and switch it out for something smaller, but that has the same capabilities, of which there's like a million. There's a ton of them, so that would not be a horrible thing to do either. It's not a bad filter. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. And it's nice because it's got 2 inputs and it's got 2 CVs and a CV over the resonance. So it's a nice. Yes, and then we all need more money. That's the problem. Yep. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were doing things. We were taking the CV outs from channel 1. And we were going to, let's go, before we do that though, before I do that, I need to make sure things are tuned. Sounds pretty good, actually. Sounds decent. Kind of curious on something. Let's see if it works. Can I use this envelope as just a VCA? The answer is yes. It's a very cost-effective way of using an envelope because the mono channels have a gate in, but they have a Vectral VCA in each channel. So it doesn't behave in a perfectly linear, like nice, normal fashion, like an ADSR thing you might give it, and it'll be all perfect. But a small, simple plucked AD envelope like this, perfect. Definitely don't have to shut up. I'm totally happy with talking about gear till the friggin' cows come home, wherever those stupid cows are. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Sloths number 1. We're going to stick inertia into the CV control over the lock control. So theoretically, alright, now I'm also curious about something. Can I use an LED patch cable? I tried plugging one of these in to the sloths. Yeah, see, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually light up. So whatever voltage is coming out of the triple sloths is pretty friggin' low. Like, it should be kinda... Judging by the brightness of this LED, it should be lighting these things up. This end, the red end right here, barely has a light on it. Can't tell if the green one does or not. One end is green, one end is red. But like if I stick it in here, now we have nice, happy, bright lights. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Let me put it in the next channel. So, yeah, I don't know. These things are... They're neat, but they're maybe not as nice or useful as one might think. Okay, but let's try this again. Into the CV of the Turing machine. Nighttime coffee. I love it out in Eugene. That seems like maybe one of the cooler places to live in the country. I would have put Austin on that list, but, you know, Texas has just gone barmy over the last few years. Okay, here's how cool triple sloths are. One second. Well, you have the Rogue Brewery, #1. They're like my favorite brewery in the world. They're absolutely amazing. Okay, all right. Here is my triple sloth's description. All right. Is Jake Lizio okay? I think so. I haven't talked to him today, but... Okay, so triple sloths. Imagine you have 2 points in space. I'm trying to see what it looks like on the camera. All right. You have 2 points in space that are gravity. All right. And then imagine a particle rotating around them. Now, sometimes it gets farther away, and so it goes into the gravity well of the other one. And sometimes it gets closer, and sometimes it goes faster, sometimes it gets farther, and sometimes it doubles back on itself and does these funky paths. So there's 2 of those happening at once on each channel. That's the X and the Y. All right, now, when they call a full cycle is like, and then it goes all the way around the other one, and then it comes back, okay? So a full cycle on torpor is, if I'm going by memory and it's probably wrong, it's like 1.5 minutes, I think. Okay, so each individual rotation or voltage fluctuation is going to be different. It's going to be, quite a bit faster. Apathy is 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes. Inertia in the middle is like 35 minutes. So the cycles of the voltage are just ultra slow, right? So X and Y are 2 different plots using the same algorithm, the same attractors. Z is the inverse of Y. So Y and Z are kind of the same, they're just opposite. So you could use them on like completely different voltages or whatever, or the voices or something like that. If you put both of them in a filter, for example, it's not going to move because you're going to have exactly the opposite trying to affect this filter, and it'll just cancel out. And then the CVNs at the top, they're like, we don't really know what they do, but try it. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it generally slows down and speeds things up. I mean, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's just constantly slowly changing voltages. And it's just the greatest thing, just to like, oh, here's a voice. Let's add some life to it. Okay, so for example, now, this is a triangle wave, so I'm going to put it on a saw wave, otherwise we don't get enough, high-end, higher harmonics to, to actually hear when you adjust a filter. So I'm gonna put the Y channel of inertia into that filter. Now you can also hear the sequence is changing because it's hitting the lock mechanism or whatever control on the Turing machine. Clearly it's on the lock side of things. So what I think also, the other thing that's a little mysterious is the LED. I think it's just the brightness that's the higher voltage, plain and simple. And I think the red and the green are the two different attractors in their algorithm. It doesn't have anything to do with positive or negative voltages. I think it's just, if it gets really dim, it's like negative voltages. If it gets really bright, it's positive voltages. From what I can tell, I scoped it out the other day, and that seems like that's the case. Like, dude, stop playing. Pick a new note. Okay, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to slow the clock down on this thing. The easiest way to do that is just to plug it into a different clock signal in my mult. Yeah. Yeah, so you see, this thing hasn't even budged. Like, it's still just like, really, really high voltage. Okay. Voice number 2. Oh, you mean because Jake hasn't been putting videos up? Yeah, he's working on his book. he's doing a book, and he wants to like sell it in music stores and, you know, get like publishing income going and stuff. So, kind of cool. About chainsaw. Which means we need a stereo filter. Oh yeah, not a problem. I completely wasn't even thinking along those lines, because I'm like, what do you mean? like I just saw him a couple days ago. He's perfectly fine, as far as I know. But yeah, he hasn't posted videos in quite a while. He's all Patreon stuff now, pretty much. Like, he's gonna get back into it. Every time I see him, we talk about different ideas and stuff that he's thinking about working on. So, but yeah, he does like live streams with his Patreon audience and. Do you even make voltage, bro? Curious too, what is the deal with the scale here? Should be pentatonic minor for everything. and it's kind of just not, it's not doing it. It's playing an F. Or an E flat. I've been asked that, not a massive amount. You'd be surprised. I think, yeah, especially here in the United States, we're all very hush-hush about our money issues. This is probably about $12,000, I think. So it's tough because I could show you my modular grid like layout, but you can't do 5 rows. It's the dumbest thing. Like, really? So I had to make 2 cases, one 4 and one single one of 120 HP. And like, come on. So you'd have to like total the 2 of them up and things like that. But if you're curious, I'll throw them in chat. Hang on. I gotta log in and all that other happy shit. Oh my god, I actually logged in the first try. Oh my god. So there's the main top 4. And then there's the bottom row. And the bottom row is only like $2,000. Jeez, I need to buy more expensive stuff. I don't. I'm just kidding. But I do. But I don't. Okay. This is all well and good, but this filter is dumb. That's neat. That's a snappy attack. It's a little more like it. I started about 5 years ago. Little less. Let's put it this way. I had a significant drain on my personal economy that went away at about that time. And it freed up a lot of funds. However, when I was about 10 years old, my piano teacher played me Switched on Bach. All right. And if you haven't heard it, you definitely need to at some point. It's all Bach music played on old Moog modular stuff. This is from like 1969, right? It's still, I think, the highest selling classical album of all time, right? It was huge. Like in the late 60s and early 70s, like Moog stuff was like in everything, in commercials and all over the place. Like it was like brand new spaced out sound, you know? So, and I swear I was listening to this thing with my eyes just wide open the whole time. Yeah, man. And the Tron soundtrack, like the original Tron, was all Wendy Carlos. I think she was Wendy at that point, because she was Walter in 1969. So if you find a copy of Switched on Bach by Walter Carlos, it's like worth more money. Because I think they honestly tried scrubbing her change from like the existence of history, which is interesting, I gotta say. Like it's impressive. And I can see that back in the 60s and 70s, but today maybe... Well, no, today it won't be any more accepted. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's a silly thing to think. So as far as wanting to play synth, I got my first synth when I was about 15, and I swear I had to scrimp and save and overturn the earth. Now we didn't have a massive amount of money. We were okay. We were like slightly lower middle class maybe growing up, you know. But my dad was an electronics engineer, and you know, always had a job, and then eventually mom was working and stuff too. So like we were okay. I like this oscillator. I like that oscillator a lot, actually. Ooh, now we got some interaction going. Nice. You know why? It's because sloths changed the lock mode. So notice the light is getting a little bit dim, which means the knob here is kind of turning back to center to completely randomized. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and at some point I remember hearing Tangerine Dream, and that we had a great used record store here in town, and so I would buy like, oh, the album cover looks cool, let's buy it. And I had 300 or 400 records saved up by the time I graduated like high school, college, and you know, Tangerine Dream led me into, you know, Jean-Michel Jarre and into Klaus Schulze and, you know, all those Berlin School guys, Kraftwerk, which, I don't know. Take or leave Kraftwerk. I don't really... I can respect them for what they did. Let's use the carry filter on this guy. But then, I think maybe some... It's interesting. The square wave is an octave lower. Alright, STG, you built in a sub. Very nice. I didn't even know that. That's super fucking cool. That being the case, let's double this sucker up. Let's get the saw out and the square out. Oh, there we go. Here's the question. Will this cable reach? It is. Good. Slightly more comfortable. Now the cool thing is this filter has a built-in VCA. Okay, but that's a little nuts. So you want to put an envelope into it, seems like. We can do that. We can oblige that. Oh, I have an envelope right next to it. I always forget. I hide envelopes there for a reason. So we can either bring that into the VCA, which would sound like so, or we can bring it into the regular mod. Now I should be panning. But I'm not really hearing it. Okay, now, are you going to actually do your thing and do your enveloping thing? Or no? Okay, there we go. There's a little auto panning going on. There we go. Okay. Now we'll put it on slow and let it just kind of slowly shimmer from left to right and do its thing. Even though occasionally it will start freaking out. Oh, because I have it on fast. That doesn't help. Alright. Okay, now let's change the length of this to something more interesting. 14, 12, 11? Okay. How will we do this? I have an idea. Alright, so I'm going to split off, since I'm already using 2 channels of inertia up here, I'm going to split off the top channel. And I'm going to run it into a comparator. Okay, now a comparator basically looks at a voltage threshold. So let's say you give it an LFO and it's like doing its thing and it's up and down, the voltage is up and down. And a comparator is like, okay, if it's over this point, it sends out a gate. So it's like, bam, and it sends out a gate. So you can get it to just kind of like intersperse gates on occasion. So I should be able to have it. What I wanted to do is occasionally hit the... what should we do? Gate in? Yeah, gate in number 2. That's the redice. Okay, so gate in number 1 to the comparator output. So it should get, as soon as inertia gets bright, this should trigger a gate to change that rhythm and melody pattern on this voice. Theoretically. No, not really ducking at all. This is much more of just like, this is a voltage utility thing, right? This is the stuff that you kind of need in your modular to like do weird shit. Interesting stuff. Electronic gymnastics. So right now I'm just kind of waiting. So I just hit the threshold of where it fires, right? So you can hear it change the sequence completely. Let me test something here. I mean, I would say maybe your best starting rig would be to get something standalone, like Mother 32 is a really good place to start, or the Behringer Crave, something like that, because those have sequencers built in, and then you can, like the Mother 32, you can mount in a Eurorack enclosure. It'd be like that, one row, chonk about up to there, right, and then you can use all of the patch points, and it's essentially like having an oscillator and a filter and a couple envelopes or whatever, and a sequencer all in one module, right? And you can use those to control other stuff. So, I would like this to be slower, to be completely honest. And then with this changing sequences constantly, I would love a matriarch. I would, if you're at all money conscious, I would look at the Behringer Poly D. I know some people are like allergic to Behringer, but dude, for $700 for a 4-voice polyphonic mini Moog, you can't really go wrong for that. I don't know. Just my opinion. If, like, most people are trying to get into it on the cheap. Or get yourself a 2600 for Same price, about $700. And then you have a frigging 2600. And the Behringer ones sound really good. I've played with one for a while. I had a real one. I cannot tell the difference. I mean, honestly, they just took the same circuits, so why would you be able to tell the difference, you know what I mean? So, like, again, just my 2 cents, you know? Everybody's got an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. So this needs to do something else. Feels like it needs a sloth's channel doing that. This is so weird. Like, this is 11 16th notes long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, it's so bizarre. VCV rack is a great idea, and I completely forgot to mention that. Yes, if you're like, modular, it's my jam. Dude, dying. Start with VCV rack, like, for free, and it sounds great, and yeah, it's amazing. And then that'll get you used to stuff like connections. Where do voltages go? You know, what goes where? And a lot of the stuff that you see here is available in VCV rack for software. Like, I don't know how many modules they've got. Thousands. See, that's really nice. This is a nice slow, you're the real slow kind of movement. But we need to patch more into the sequencer and do cool shit. Like, what's the other one? We could do CVN1. And I could and should modulate the gate. Check it out. Got my LED patch cables. There, how about a weird envelope? And then we'll put it on like 90 seconds. Yeah, that sounds good. Now, there needs to be more variation in what I use here. Something really up and down and weird. That one, like there, maybe. Yeah. It's all jaggy. There is something very, very powerful about hardware, about hands-on. So when this lights up, you should hear the sequence get quite a bit higher when it decides to do that. There you go. You know what's really fucked up? The sloths will not drive the LED cables. That's like the main reason I got them. So like, here, let's plug in an LED cable. Oh, wait, the positive one works. Does the negative one? No. Any of these other channels? That one kind of works. Inertia? Oh, it sort of works. So like that one, there's no green. There's red. And it's kind of weak. Well, that's interesting, though. What do I have the other CV doing here? I have no idea. Let's find out. CV2 is... Oh, legato. No, I kind of want to put that on... Oh, no, it's on variation. No, that's good. That's good. Because then it'll go to like 16th notes on occasion. See, I love this kind of pseudo-random weirdness. Well, clock I think will work, but you will have a voltage drop. And it depends on how strong your clock source is. Like when you tried it on your Mother 32 and stuff, your Moog stuff, seems like maybe it's giving out like a 5-volt clock, and then using the LED cable drops it by a volt or something, and then it doesn't receive a 4-volt clock. It doesn't like it. This is nice. Things are like getting all aggressive here. I have everything else on here. Triple sloths just all got together and they just decided to turn everything down at once. That was cool. I'll tell you, if you're going into the electron environment, be prepared. You'll have to sign over your firstborn into the electron cult. Now, the electron cult seems very happy. They seem very proud of their electron stuff. Yeah, this is kind of funky, right? Oh yeah. Undermined. You were the one the other day that was like, didn't you have to offset the clock on the muck slicer to get it to work right? And my brain wasn't there, and you're absolutely right, and I did it with the data, and I think I shuffled it early by like 4 pulses. So I tried that. So I'm going to have to see if this actually, works. So let's set up another voice here. Excuse me. I think I might as well finish this up. Thanks for that, Nick, because that's exactly what I've heard. Now, I have never played with them. No, I played with the Electron keyboard. That's like the FM synth. I played with that. But, playing with an FM synth doesn't mean a whole lot unless it's like nothing but sliders or buttons in front of you. LED patch cables for extra prettiness. I think I just broke the cameras. Yeah, seriously, I just broke my cameras. I just turned something off that I shouldn't have because I forgot the cameras were plugged into the same hub. Oh, this really sucks. Wait, is it working? Okay, the one is working. Hello. There we go. Oh, there. Oh. It recovered. Oops. Yeah, my clever goal was to unplug the lights from my case. But then I was like, I'll just turn off the USB hub instead, because that'll be easier. Okay, let's set up another voice. You guys, you're cool. You're cool, but we're gonna come back to you. I feel like I do this almost every single time, but I really want to use the radio music and make some strange voices. Dude, yeah, you have to smile. Can I just say that a lot of people are way too serious when they stream? It's all a big business. Like, we're just making cool noises. Let's just make cool noises. Yeah, I remember my big thing, and I still do it every once in a while, is when I start streaming and I don't have a microphone on, I'm just like... And then someone's like, we don't hear anything. Click 2 buttons on, and now all of a sudden it works. It's like, you dumb bastard. I think I did a stream early a few years ago for like 2 hours, and the first hour of it had no audio from anything, and no one said anything. Like, it was the weirdest thing, and there were like 3 or 4 people watching. Like, nothing is happening. There's no sound. You don't have the presence of mind to be like, dude, I think your shit's broken. It was the weirdest thing. MK! What's happening? What's shaking? Let's, I kind of want to try using the Mux Slicer for something because, well, you know, it's nifty. So we could use that to just program a voice. But we're going to need the, you know, the whatchamajigger. We're going to need the ornament and crime. Damn it, I want my quantizer. I want my quantizer. I don't know if you were here for that. Yeah, I have just an A160. I would have rather had the A162 because I believe it does more accurate clock divisions. This one triggers its clock divisions on the bottom of the gate rather than the top. But it still kind of works, right? So it's a little strange. Okay. Voice. Let's not get sidetracked. Voice. What should we do for a voice? There are many, many sources of melodic information. Like, for example, marbles. To be honest, marbles would be a very good source of melodic information. Which means, though, we need to run it a clock. Okay. Now, this is when the muck slicer is cool, because now I can take the clock out from here and just multiply it down. So I can give my marbles a really slow clock, and then crank up the jitter so it just like barely hits and then it spazzes out, and then each time it's like generating a note and doing its thing. But where do we go from here? In terms of what are we gonna drive? I think maybe the thing. Oh, how about plats? I never use plats. Plats. I'm sure we could come up with something interesting. That boy good. That boy's good. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. That's it. I'm done. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a C. Okay, let's give this thing the modulation-o-rama here. So we're gonna go max amplitude on all of these guys. Okay, and then we're gonna modulate that, the morph. And then we're gonna modulate... No, let's do this in a logical order here. Like this. Timbre. Not FM, though. What else do I want here? I want the harmonics. Yeah. So that this is just a continuously evolving sound here. Okay, so that's the main out. Here's the aux out. Oh, okay, it's just a sine wave of the same frequency. Okay, no. We don't need that then. We'll just go mono. Mono! Okay. But... Yeah, y'all gonna get a VCA here. Oh god, there's so many cables right here. Oh Lord, help me. Ah! Okay, how do we generate semi-random envelopes? Oh, there's a few ways, actually. We can do it with... Why don't we do it in the road? Oh, well, we can do it with marbles, because we're already in marbles. So that would make sense. I want like a really, really short little plick kind of a noise. You know, a little plicky noise. Like something. Hello? Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh. Oh. Do it. Go. Go. Now. Play. Yeah, like that. Okay, except... needs to be higher. Okay, hang on. What is the... Oh. Okay, so if I hold the button and I turn the harmonics knob... Is that right? No, that didn't actually do anything. Oh, second button. There we go. So we can shift it up an octave, really. That didn't sound right. Neither did that. Okay, where's my A? Where's my C? That sounds like a C right there. Okay. So it should be doing a C minor scale. That's an A natural. That shouldn't be happening. This definitely needs a bass drone of some sort here. Platts here is not, it's not really playing in tune. I think it's, I'm going to blame marbles. It's close. Honestly, maybe it's okay that it's like semi-random. Let's just use it as like a weird little squeegee percussion thing. Like that. It's an official bleep. Weird. Okay, so we can turn the rate down just a hair. Take a moment and construct a nice bass drone. So I'm going to do this in a really simple way here. So we're going to go C, and let's make it 5 possible steps long. But the rate on each of these is going to be 4 whole notes. So we're going to go... What are we on? F harmonic minor? No. Go C. Yeah, we'll just make it C minor, just to make life easy. So we've got C, E flat, F, G, and then a high C. And then, so it's going to be random, but each step is going to have a chance of completely skipping the step. But rather than rest, I think I want, so advance to the next step automatically. Okay. So then what I want to do is make some of these are going to be like 50% chance, right? Of just skipping to the next step. And if it does that in randomness, it should land back on step number 1 because I'm not going to put anything there. That's just going to be sacrosanct, if you will. And even if you won't, do it anyways. It's good for you. Pitch 1. Gate 1. Then we're going to go to the Instrual CSL. Indeed. What do we want to with this? What do we want to do with this? Where do we want to put this? I think we want to put that in... Let's put it into an actual envelope here. Let's put it into like a Zadar channel. Well, because Eurorack is a pretty nice enclosed system where levels and things like that are all pretty much standardized all across, which is, you know, unfair to the rest of the world, but you know, that's such is life. Yes. So this is going to be a slow swell. And then let's just run this through a VCA. No, we don't need boost. And then we can take the main mix out from 2 channels. There. And because this quad VCA does a, it like normalizes. So like channel 3 and 4 right here are both going to go into one single output, which is super nice. Most enjoyable. Yes. Triangle wave and a saw, or a sub, a square wave sub, maybe. But where are they? That is the question. Oh, mixer channel would help. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, well that clearly needs to be filtered as well. Okay, so let's take, I'm just going to take that directly out from here and then run it into the, I guess the neutron filter. So we can filter out the neutrons. Where you at? Like, why are you so distorted and stuff? What's up with that? I think it's having issues with... Oh, it's distorting the VCA. That's why. I mean, obviously. Okay. Now we know. So... When do my notes get triggered here? There it is. Okay, so that envelope needs to be a lot longer. 10 seconds? Yeah. Let's go 10 seconds. Ish. And then we're going to need to filter. Like that, kind of. But, let's do this. This guy, goes here. But I would also like you to go to the filter. Like so. Okay. Reason's internal is 32-bit floating point, but that still gives you like essentially near infinite levels of dynamic range internally, though only internally. But yeah, hardware no, because everything in here is designed to work on Eurorack standards, right? And Eurorack is like, it's like way higher than line level. So, you know, some of these have a little bit weaker of an output than normal. Like the kick-all, I always have to run that through like a boosted VCA just to make it sound decent. Which is a common complaint on that module. But and as long as I've had a Clouds, I finally installed the Parasites firmware. And I love it. And I can't believe it took that long. It has the most gorgeous reverb in it. It's like the best thing. There it is. Yeah, and as far as hardware, having bit depth, they would have to be internal if you have a digital module. You know, if it has any DACs or whatever, it'll all be internal because all your connections are still analog. So, whatever that happens to be. And some of these are digital modules, some of them are analog. Digital oscillator, digital filters, digital, a lot of them. Well, there's Hemisphere's firmware for the Ornament and Crime that lets you run two programs at once. It's pretty cool, but honestly, I might think about that once I get the quantizer in. Because then this thing doesn't have duties only as a quantizer. I can start using it in other shit, which is pretty cool. someone's not in tune. And I think it's this. Yep. Ooh. I turned the little weird squidgy percussion bleepy thing to pre-fader for the effects. So now you're only getting the reverb and the delay tails. We need our spooky radio voices. It has to happen. It's mandatory. That guy's really mad. Thunder backwards. Thank you, man. There's that sloth's just taking everything out at once.
And when you failed, and when you quit, and when you blew it, and when you threw down your Bible, and when you walked away, and back again, aren't you glad when you walked in the door? Somebody gave you back to God again. Yeah, but I've been this a long time, and I know all about it. Yeah, but my family's messed up, and my family's messed up, and my testimony's shot, and I got tattoos, and I got earrings, and I never once. Here comes another brother, he's taken up, he's dirty, he's stained, he's a failure, he's a friend of mine, he doesn't
Guy's so angry. I did it again. And I think that's going to do it for me for this evening. But now I know something. Which is, when I screw up and I unplug my cameras, it'll eventually figure it out. Good job, Windows and OBS. It's sad that it surprises me. Oh well. Anyways, hey, have a good night. I need to do a stream from home one of these days and just goof around with the subharmonicon and clouds and marbles, because they're like best friends. And, yeah, just use the little system at home. Just not terribly capable of anything. But, I don't know. We'll see.